Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss a new topic, and the topic name is personal pronoun. So, if you remember, we have talked already about the personal pronouns in nominative. What are the personal pronouns in nominative? In nominative, we have ish, wir, du, ihr, sie, er, sie, and sie, right? Now, when we talk about the personal pronouns in accusative and dative, that means we are talking about when the personal pronouns or the nouns act as a object. Okay, so when we talk about nominative is always a subject, and accusative and dative they are direct and indirect object respectively. Okay, so now for an example, if I say I like you is a sentence. In that case, what is I is the subject. What is like is the verb, and you is the object, right? So I is ish, like is the verb, which is mark, and what is you is do, right? Should I write do here? No, this is completely a wrong sentence. Why? Because in this sentence, do is what? Do is the personal pronoun, but in nominative means when the you is acting as a subject in the sentence, but here in this sentence the you is acting as an object. That means we have to find how to write an object you in German. Okay, so when we talk about an object, we have two cases, accusative and dative case. Accusative is nothing but a direct object. Okay, and what is dative? Dative is nothing but indirect object. So if you see in this chart, you can see that for do we have a word dish. So accusative means a direct object. We know when we have a single object, it's a direct object here. So here I will write, instead of do, dish, ish mag dish. Okay, not do, because here you is an object, so it will be dish, ish mag dish. Likewise, if I say she likes me, she likes me, or I like her. Okay, now in that case, what is happening? She is the subject, like is the verb, and me is the object, right? I is the subject, like is the verb, and her is the object. So you can see when she becomes an object, it becomes her, and when I becomes an object, it becomes me, right? But in the case of you, it remains same. So for example, you like me, I like you. You is a subject also, and in the object also it will become you, but in subject we will use do, and in object we will use dish. Okay, but here it is quite clear that she is the subject and her is the object, I is the subject and me is the object, right? Now what is she is actually z, and like is mag, as we have seen previously. And what is me? Now we have a only one object. When we have only one object, it's the direct accusative object, which is mish. So z mag mish. Okay, I like her. What is I is ish. So let me erase this for clear presentation. Yeah. So what is I is basically ish, right? And what is like is mark, and what is her? In this chart, if we see, it's z, correct? So ish mark z. So mish means me, dish means you, z is again you in object form formal. Een is him. It's not ihan, it's een. Okay, ishmag een. Een is him. S is it. Ish, I like it. Okay. Z is her. Uns is us. Oish is you, all informal. And z is also them. So if you see here, how many z we have? We have one, we have two, and we have these, like we have actually two here. One is for you and you all. So two, three, and four. We have four z. And how to distinguish them? So if you notice, even in these four z, the z here is like, for the s here is always capital for you and you all, but for her and them the s is small. Okay, so that is what a differentiation between these four z. Now, if you see this sentence, I know him. I is basically a subject, which is ish. Know is kenna, and him is ihn. Okay, so ich kenne ihn. Now she searches her, sie sucht sie. Wir visit them, wir besuchen sie. Okay, so that's how once you remember this chart or once you go through this chart, it's very, very easy to make the sentences with the personal pronouns. Okay, now let's talk about the dative case. So what is dative? Dative is nothing but dative is a indirect object. Okay, so in the case of dative, the object me becomes mir, you becomes dear. What is ihnen? It's again you all, you and you all, formal. Okay, what is ihm? Ihm is actually him. What is ihm here? It's actually also it, and ihr, it's actually her. So him, it, and her. I like him. I like him. Ich mag ihn, not him. So in that case, I like him. Him is only one object. So when we have a one object, it's accusative direct object. So it will not be ihm, it will be ihn, the one that we have seen before. But if you say, I bring him a chocolate. So I is the subject, bring is the verb, him and chocolate. These are two objects. So when we have two objects, in that case, what happens is the him and chocolate. Who is the receiver in this sentence? Who is getting a chocolate? Him. So him is my dative object and chocolate is my direct object, which is accusative. So him is dative and chocolate is accusative. So him will be ihm. Okay. So ich bringe ihm eine Schokolade. I bring him a chocolate. Okay. So euch and then ihnen. Even if you see here, we have we have actually three ihnen. One is this two, one is for you and one is for you all. And we have one for them. So we have three ihnen. In that case, for you and you all, the I will always be capital. Okay. So now I give him a chocolate. So ich gebe ihm eine Schokolade. Why did we write here ihm? Because we have I as a subject, give is a verb, and him and chocolate. There are two objects. So when we have two objects, then the object without which we cannot complete the sentence. For example, I give him. This is not a complete sentence. What do you give? Do you give a bag? Do you give a card? Do you give a chocolate? What do you give? It's not complete. That means without chocolate, our sentence is not complete. So chocolate is our main object. It's a accusative direct object. And him is my indirect object, which is a dative object, right? So that's why I have written here ihm. We give you and you all a chocolate, so it's ihnen. And we give them a chocolate, it's ihnen, but with small I. Okay. So when we talk about personal pronouns in nominative, in dative, and in accusative, the difference is in nominative, we always use them as a subject. Ich, wir, du, ihr, sie, er, sie. Okay. But when we talk about accusative and dative, accusative is used in the case of a direct object and dative is used in the case of indirect object. Okay. And what is a direct object? Direct object is normally when you have only one object in the sentence. That is your main object, your dative object. Like that is your main object. So that is your accusative object, right? But when you have two objects in the sentence, in that case, the object without which you cannot complete the sentence, that object is your accusative object. And the other object remaining is your dative object. For example, I give him a chocolate. In this sentence, I give him, what do you give? There is no completion. So chocolate is your main object, it's accusative, and him is a dative object. I hope it's clear, and it's a very simple topic. Again, in this topic, you just have to remember the table and practice the sentences. Okay. Then practice a lot of sentences on it and see you in the next one. Till then, bye.